Hey y'all, Ryan here. I am at the southern entrance, the official southern entrance to Wynwood here in Miami. Today I'm going to do a tour of construction projects that are in progress or recently completed here in Miami. I'm going to try and catch as many of them as I can. There are so many that sometimes even I forget what's going on. But yeah, so we are here at the corner of 20th and North Miami Ave. And this is a part of Wynwood that construction really hasn't gotten to yet. We have Wynwood Works right over here, also with Kush by Locale right here. And then we have a lot of empty lots around here as well. So there's one there, one on that side, and also this is where the Brightline and Tri-Rail tracks are. So this is the southernmost entrance to Wynwood. A lot of people try and take Wynwood, Miami Ave. It really ends at the train tracks right there. And that building you see there is called Wynwood House, but it's not actually Wynwood. It's in the Arts and Entertainment District. They just tried to expand the brand. It's not really true. Wynwood ends right about there. So we're going to go street by street here and try and see all the projects that we can. So let's go. So this is a very interesting part of Wynwood. We are here on 21st Street, which is right here. This is 21st and North Miami Ave you have over here. This corner of Wynwood, until very recently, there was not much going on. It was empty, blighted lots, really no development. But over the past 4 years or so, I would say since COVID, construction development has picked up insanely around here. So as I was saying, you have Wynwood Works right here. Wynwood Works is a collaboration between the Miami Heat player, I cannot pronounce his name, and also the AMLI CRA. So this is all workforce housing, along with some parking, and there'll be retail along the street as well. So if we turn here, we now have, I would say a mega project by Related Group. This is multifamily apartments, as well as office on top, and you have it here and here. I just found out today that this project is called, at least the multifamily part of it, is called the Highley House. And these two are both going to be apartments. We'll have to check and see how many units there are going to be. But yeah, a lot of units coming here. Now, this particular lot right here is a source of much, I would say, consternation with the local Miami community and all that. So you have to realize something. In Wynwood, up until very recently, developers were capped at doing projects that were 12 stories. And that's what you saw with the apartments here. That's the limit for the neighborhood. However, recently, Florida enacted something called the Live Local Act. And the Live Local Act allows developers to bypass local height limits and density limits in exchange for affordable housing or workforce housing. Basically, what Live Local says is you can build a similar structure for one that's already built within, I think it's a mile or 2 miles. We'll have to double check on it, but I believe it's 2 miles. Within 2 miles of here, there are buildings that are 60 stories tall, which is basically the limit that you get from the FAA limits here in Miami. This lot right here, this lot has a project proposed on it by a developer called Baz, and it's going to be 40 stories. It doesn't have a name, I don't think, beyond the address yet, but this will be 40 stories and it will be a Live Local project. For reference, this is about 12 stories, which is the height limit in the neighborhood. So here, you're going to have 40 stories. So 12 stories basically is going to be the height of this project's podium, which is going to be pretty wild. I'm excited about this project, and I think it'll add. We need more housing in Miami just in general. So I think it'll be good to have this 300 to 400 units here. And for one, I don't think that a 40-story building is going to ruin the character of Wynwood. Wynwood, up until 15 years ago, was a blighted warehouse district. So there's not much character to change. Anyways, that is what's happening here on North Miami and Northeast 21st Street. Also, this entire lot here is for sale, Wynwood 2050, and you could presumably build a live local project that would match what is going to do over here. You could put a 40-story building on this land on 1.3 acres, which is pretty wild. Cool. Here at this part of Wynwood, the development of Wynwood has gone west to east, basically. And this part of Wynwood really hasn't had any development in the past 10 years because there's been a lot of blighted buildings, a lot of homelessness, a lot of that stuff. But that's changed in the past 2 years. Behind me, we have the project that's called Windcatcher, and that's a mixed-use, adaptive reuse. It's going to have offices, event space, probably a restaurant, food and beverage, etc. And then over here, behind me on this side, we have Wynwood House. Different than Wynwood House. They're spelled differently, I know, but this one's actually in Wynwood. And this is a multifamily project. We'll be delivering probably in the next 6 months. And yeah, it's going to be a pretty cool project, luxury multifamily. And I think it'll really spark development in this part of Wynwood. Excited to see how this all turns out. Okay, so now we are here on North Miami Ave and Northwest 24th Street. And behind me, we have Society Wynwood. Society Wynwood is a multifamily project by PMG, and it just delivered about 3 months ago, I believe. And it's a pretty intensive project. It has about 400 units, retail, and I think some co-working space and event space as well. So this is on Northwest 24th Street. And then this is the epicenter of Wynwood as far as the shopping, cultural, food and beverage, all that. Everything is around North Miami Ave. And I would say 24th through 27th is where that all happens. These are some office buildings here. They have a lot of tech companies in them. So yeah, this is right in the middle of Wynwood, and Society Wynwood is off to a great start from what I can tell with leasing and leasing up the retail. There will be Starbucks and a few other things here as well. So behind me, we have AMLI Wynwood. AMLI Wynwood is a luxury multifamily. It has tons of retail. I believe it has, once again, about 400 units, and we're still on Northwest 24th. So Northwest 24th has seen a ton of development in the past 2 to 3 years. We now have Society Wynwood and AMLI Wynwood on the same street, and they both delivered at approximately the same time. So you now have about 800 units of new housing stock on one street in Wynwood, which is just wild if you think about it. I like the design on AMLI Wynwood. Has what they call a patio, and you can actually walk through there to the other street, which would be Northwest 25th. So I like that. It allows you to break up these giant blocks. Nice design too for multifamily. You're not going to get Zaha Hadid with this level of product, but I like it. So the site behind me here is slated for a project called Live Work Wynwood. And I don't have too many details on it. I'll put a rendering when I make the video, but this would go directly behind AMLI Wynwood right here on Northwest 25th. And I believe, once again, that's between 300 to 400 units. So you have a lot of potential new units going right here. I haven't heard in a while about the project, so we'll see if it's still in the works, but that would definitely go right here on Northwest 25th. So here we have two smaller buildings that recently completed in Wynwood. We have Wynwood 27 right here. And if I'm not mistaken, this is a multifamily / short-term rentals. So you can do both. It has some retail on the bottom as well. So you got some retail, some of it's already full. I really like Wynwood Atriums though. There's no parking. It has a little retail. It's only about, I would say, five or six stories, but it's really cool to show what you can do when you don't require parking. It has an elevator, I can see that, but it's a really cool project. We need more of these type of projects in Miami. So this is Wynwood 27 and Wynwood Atriums. So one thing I want to talk about really quickly is that even with all this new development that you have in Miami, you have spaces in Wynwood that are just, you have these empty spaces. They're probably already sold or whatever, but there are still spaces available to develop. And to have that close to an urban core in a city, to me, is still wild. You still have, this is a school of some sort. So there's a large plot here. It's a school that, of course, will someday be developed. So they'll probably put the school back in there after they develop it. But I would say on 4 corners of this intersection, you have 1, 2, 3, 4 developable spaces in Wynwood. It's crazy. 2024. This is Central Wynwood, and it's a short-term rental building. You can rent here, I believe, by the day even. But the reason I want to show this building is not that new. It's been around for 2 to 3 years. But I want to show you what's behind me from this building. You have single-story, single-family or townhomes, and then you have the same thing here. Wynwood has a long way to go, no matter what some of the naysayers may say. You have a blank lot here. So there's a lot happening in Wynwood, and a lot that's going to happen over the next 2 to 3 years. So behind me here, we have another one of those pretty cool 5 or 6 story buildings with no parking, which I love. I think Wynwood needs hundreds of these because these are definitely cheaper to construct than something like Central over there or Wynwood 29 or 28, which you'll see in a moment. But once again, I want to point out, I'm on the corner here of Northwest 28, I believe, and Northwest 1st Ave. And basically almost every corner, this corner here, that corner there, and this corner here, have single family or single story or single family homes on them. And this is just about 2 blocks from the main drag in Wynwood. There's still so much you can do in Wynwood, and with the Live Local Act and Rapid Transit Act, you could build 30-story buildings on this lot. Not that they will, but you could build 30-story buildings here. We just have so much room to grow in Wynwood and for Wynwood to become something really amazing, and I'm excited to see how it all goes. We are on the other side here of Wind 27. And once again, across the street, we have 2-story buildings, vacant lots right over here. And just, it's crazy. Like, there's so much room for development and to do new things. In the next five years, I think, Wynwood is just going to be a crazy little, almost urban core itself. And if the Metro Mover ever gets extended here someday, then it's really game over for development in Wynwood. Like, you're going to see 60-story buildings in Wynwood. So I'm here now on the corner of Northwest 2nd Ave, and I'm not sure what the street is, maybe 28th. And behind me, here we have Nomad Residences, which goes down this entire block. It's a massive project, and it's one of the first condo projects in Wynwood proper in a very long time. This is going to be Nomad. It's also going to have a Casa Tua in it, lots of food options, and I believe it will be available for short-term rentals as well. This entire block is going to be condos, and then look at this. You have this entire field here that will someday become another project. So much space. We're here on 28th now, and over here behind me, you can see Wynwood 28 and 29. But the biggest thing here is the diesel project. Diesel project has been stalled out for a long time. They sold a little bit, but then COVID knocked them off track. I read a news article last week, a couple weeks ago, that they brought in some new money and they're redesigning it to better fit the current market, whatever that means. So you're going to have, this project is going to get going sometime soon. They didn't put a date on it, but it does have fresh money, so it is going to be going soon. And then you also have this project here, which I'm not sure the name. It has Messy on it. Call it the Messy Building. And the Messy Building has retail, parking, and offices here on 28. And also, once again, an empty lot. So you have all these empty lots that you can build. And this entire empty lot is going to be diesel. It's a long, skinny building from Wynwood 29 all the way almost to our house over there. Pretty cool project. Here we're on the corner of Northwest 1st Ave and Northwest 28th Street. And across the street here, we have 29 and 28 Wynwood. That is by Block and Kushner Capital. And we have this retail building here as well, which I was talking about previously. And then, of course, once again, we have an empty lot. And this empty lot, once again, could fall under Live Local. So once again, another 30-story building. The product that was going to go here was something called, I think, 37 or 27 galleries. It was like a very artsy boutique sort of condo, but I think it died during COVID. So this lot is for sale, and it could be a live local project here on 28th and Northwest 1st Avenue. Here we have I-5, which is I-5 Wynwood. I-5 Wynwood is a co-living, you can rent by the bedroom. I believe you get roommates assigned, but it's very short term. So you can live here during the winter, summer, whatever, but it's a short-term multifamily building. And then directly next door to it, right there, that sign, you have a lot for sale. There could be something twice as tall as this. So you have I-5, and there's like retail at the bottom, and there's stuff, but yeah, you can build right there. So we're here on 27th, east of North Miami Avenue, and the project behind me is a multifamily project, rental project, that I keep forgetting the name of. I'll put it on the video when it's there. But you have this project, which I believe is 300 units, and then this lot over here is going to be a hotel at some point. So you'll have multifamily here on this side with some retail, and then hotel over here. This is on 27th, just east of North Miami Ave. So I'm here on 29th Street across the street from Midtown. This is the northern limits of Wynwood. And behind me here, there's going to be two projects. One project is going to be the Ryder at Wynwood, and the other one I think is called Mohawk. I believe there's two projects. So there's going to be the Ryder and the Mohawk right here across the street from Wynwood on 29. The Brightline tracks are to our east this way. So we're here on the corner of Northeast 29th Street and North Miami Ave. Midtown is that way. And this is where most of the intense development has been happening in Wynwood. Behind me, we have the Gateway at Wynwood, which has been going through some foreclosure drama. And then behind that, over there, we have the Plaza at Wynwood, the Wynwood Plaza, however you say it. And that is a massively intense project. It has, I think, 400,000, 500,000 square feet of office space, about 400 units of residential, and then retail and all the other amenities come with it. So it is a massive project. We'll go closer to it, but 29th has really been where the intense development has been happening in Wynwood up until this point. Just to get an idea of how large the Plaza Wynwood is, this whole side over here is all residential, so probably 300 to 400 units. And then this whole side over here is office space. I believe it's in the between 300,000 to 500,000 square feet. And then there's amenities and retail and all kinds of craziness. It is a massive project. And then behind us here, we have Artem, which is another multifamily project. Not sure I'm not pronouncing that, but yeah, so we have Artem and the Plaza at Wynwood on the other side. It's going to be a very dense part of Wynwood in the next couple of years. One of our last stops, because it's getting too dark to film, behind me is the Dorsey. And the Dorsey is a massive project again. It has offices up here and then residential over here, multifamily, as well as retail and a really cool courtyard patio right here. So this is on 29th Street towards the western edge of Wynwood. And it is, once again, a massive project. The hotel in front of me here is Moxie by Marriott, and it just opened. It's one of the new wave of hotels that's coming online in Wynwood. We have Arlo Hotel, which is more east of here. We have Moxie's, and there's the other one I point out. It's going to be a hotel down on 27. So we're starting to see more of a mix of condos, multifamily, and hotels. Where previously Wynwood was basically just food and beverage and a few multifamily, but now you're getting all of the whole mix together.